Okay, so what is a virtual machine? This is something that they mentioned in the previous video, but it is important for us to fully understand what it is. I can just give you a definition and say virtual machine is a machine within our physical computer that is using its hardware resources. But for most of you, this will be a new term that you haven't really encountered before. So I would like to explain it furthermore for you as well as mention why are we going to use it. Let me start like this. All of us are running an operating system and 99.9% of us are running one of the three main operating systems. You either have Windows, Mac, OS or Linux. Most of you will have Windows or Mac OS. I doubt anyone will be running Linux, but nonetheless these are the three main ones. But what if we wanted to run two different operating systems on the same machine? Can we do that? For example, let's say you have Windows installed on your physical machine, but you want to install Linux too, or even better case, you want to install 5 operating systems running on different virtual machines. Can you do that? You can. How would that work? Well, picture it like this. Imagine these 4 lines representing our computer, and we already know that any computer will have one of the 3 main operating systems: Windows, Mac, OS or Linux. But operating system is not the only thing defining our machine. Our machine also has its computer parts. We have hard disk processor, RAM memory, motherboard and many more computer parts that with the operating system make our machine work. These computer parts are also known as hardware. But wait a second, Alexa, why are you telling us this? Thought this was a lecture on explaining how virtual machines work and not on hardware components. Well, hang on for just a second. We're slowly getting there. Picture a virtual machine to build this smaller rectangle within our physical machine, which is this larger rectangle. And let's imagine that our physical machine is running Windows operating system. But if you took a look at this course content, you would probably notice that we're going to be doing all of our hacking stuff over Linux. Does that mean that we must delete our Windows and install Linux? Nope. We will install Linux as a virtual machine, and for this machine to work, it will need to have access to our hardware components. What does this mean? Well, since a virtual machine will act as a machine of its own, it must have its own computer parts. And what we will do is we're going to borrow our physical machines, CPU power, RAM memory, harvest memory to our virtual machine so it can run just like our physical machine. In other words, we're splitting the power of our physical machine into 2 different machines or more, if we decide that we want to create multiple virtual machines. Does that mean that they will be slower since they will be splitting hardware resources? Well, technically, yes, but it will not be noticeable for us. However, the more powerful your PC is, more virtual machines it will be able to run effectively. Another important thing is that once you shut down your virtual machine, all of the hardware resources used by it will get freed back for a physical machine to use. Okay, good. But what are other benefits that we have if we create a virtual machine? Well, since we are hackers and we will be doing a lot of things and running a lot of programs on that virtual machine, we want to